Hi, I'm Mark Mancini with VRBO Outstanding and Vacation Home Mastery. This week's episode is where to find the best photographer, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, if you recall, several months ago we had a two-part series. The number one and number two things that make or break your vacation rental. Number one is photographs, and number two is cleaners. We can go back to that link and watch that episode there and talk. We'll hear me talk about the different photographs that you're going to want. And we discussed in that episode, you want not only your daytime photographs, but you also want night shots too, where the sun is gone away, and really it's just the moonlight, the stars, and then it's the inside of the house lit up and maybe some landscape lighting that really make it pop. So we had some examples in that video. I hope you refer back to it. It really shows you what you can do. In fact, we also did an episode on landscape lighting for your outside. So really, you want to watch that video as well, and that link is right here below. Now, remember, we talked about the night picture as well as the day picture, but we also talked about having that photographer be able to do drone footage of your property, stills and video. Okay, that's important because VRBO lets you upload a video, and that really kind of sets the stage for their expectations. They really see what the property looks like because there's video of it, not just still photographs. So they can get more of a captivative in-person feel. Now, to take that one further, we talked about having Matterport 3D virtual tour done by your photographer as well, because this way your guests can walk through the home. And if you need examples for that, I have links below to my two properties where I've done the Matterport 3D, and it is well worth it. Now, this photographer should be able to do all of those. Now, you're going to want to work with him or her to help stage all the pictures. Again, we talked about that in the other episode. But this episode is about where to find that photographer, okay? So there's a couple places you can go that make it real easy to find someone who's familiar with photographing homes, not just people or photographers that deal with portraits and things like that. It's a very special niche. So the first place you can go to is ask around your friends who are realtors, or maybe the realtor that sold you your vacation rental, okay? Ask them who they recommend, and make sure when you call that photographer up, you ask if they're okay doing night shots, if they do Matterport 3D, if they do drone, but you also want to make sure they help do post-production work. And we talked about that, where that's putting, for instance, one of your photographs of your homes on the TV in the background, okay? So a TV should never be black and empty. It should have a picture of your property on it, maybe the pool, the outside, something like that, okay? Now, a realtor is going to have the best, handful of photographers. But if you don't know any realtors, another option is to go to a Facebook group in that area where the home is and ask realtors there, hey, mind if I ask you who your photographers are and if I can get a reference? And you can also let them know you are interested in more properties, so anyone who helps you out, you'll make sure you keep their card or contact information and reach out to them as needed. Now, finally, you can also go to these websites that have national photographers. I haven't used them, and they're not everywhere. A real popular one, though, is called Virtuance, virtuance.com. It's not available in all areas, but they supposedly do have some good photographers. There's also several other sites you can go to. In fact, Zillow actually has a photographer directory where you can actually go to their website, and they have a list of photographers specific for just real estate, and more than likely be able to do Matterport 3D as well. They're almost always going to do drones. Photographers nowadays almost always do drones. If your photographer does not have a drone, will not do drone photographs, do not hire them. Also, before you hire your photographer, you're going to want to see examples of their work. Ask them for a couple different sites or pictures, listings of the work that they've done. Okay, you're looking for artistic flair, you're looking for clarity, You're looking for how they did the post-production work. Does it look too fake or just good enough, right? Take away the imperfections, especially inside a house, okay, where lighting could become an issue. You want to make sure that in post-production they're adjusting the brightness to get the room to look better, not look dark and dingy like you've seen in some of the pictures on Airbnb and VRBO. And if you go to my sites, you'll see the photographs are spot on, okay? So I went ahead and I one time hired someone. It was a recommendation. He sent me examples of the work, and I looked at it and I flat out told him, it's like, you know, these aren't good. Like, these are worse than the ones I have, and I showed him the ones I had. And he agreed, and he didn't charge me, okay? I found a gentleman in Key West who comes up to Isla Mirada here. It's about an hour, 45-minute drive for him, but he is a phenomenal photographer, Scott. So if you're in the Keys, I can give you one here. Otherwise, it's Virtuance, Zillow Photographer Directory, and I think there's a couple other websites. Home Jab is another one. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and get someone professional. Don't do it yourself. Don't get your neighbor's kid, right? There's no need for that. And don't go out and buy a drone and try to do it yourself, because really flying a drone is not as easy as it looks. And there's things called flyaways, and the first time I had a drone, it flew away and it never came back. Now, a couple weeks later, the local sheriff brought it by and returned it to me. But lesson learned, don't do something that you're not skilled at. Stick with vacation home rentals, okay? Don't forget, Vacation Home Mastery course is $200 off. It's only $97. But again, we have our new YouTube program starting with our different levels, and you can actually get more money off not only the Vacation Home Mastery, but also the VRB Outstanding course with property management courseware. Plus, you'll get 15 minutes or 30 minutes of free consultation every single month, and that's in our monthly tiered plans that we have available here on YouTube now that we're YouTube partners. So thank you very much for coming this week. Don't forget, always hit the like and subscribe button below, comments, questions, and we're going to see you again next week.